Hello Ds, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna, and welcome back to the latest Spain update and obviously Benidorm news update. Today we are on our terrace once again because it's quite warm and we've had so much work on our migration consulting company that it was just impossible to get outside on a normal temperature, and it's already too warm. So we have to stay on the terrace to let you know all the latest news. And we have quite a lot to talk about. Some of them are truths and myths, or something that is not true on social media. And we're here to let you know what actually is going on. And there's going to be also some news for all those of you who are planning on living here in Spain, or maybe live already in our sunny country. And we will finish all the news as usual with the weather forecast for one entire week from now on. First of all, let's concentrate on the tourism situation. As you all know, it is quite busy. It definitely is. The beach looks very busy. It's not overcrowded and there's not too many people, if you get what I mean. August is not as busy as it was the previous years because obviously it's the most expensive month of the year, and people just think twice on whether it's actually worth spending hundreds of euros more, sometimes even thousands, only to come here in August instead of any other month of the year, like for example beginning of June, July, or maybe even September, which is still ideal for your holidays here in the country. So we do see slightly less people than we usually would see in Benidorm. On contrary, our area of Albir, Alfastelpi, by the seashore, it is as busy as we've not seen it in a long while. It's difficult even to park your car around. There's so many people on the beach, at the fair, by the crafts market. It's incredible how busy our area is comparing with Benidorm town. Probably one of the reasons might be that Albir historically has been the place where it was more expensive to stay on holidays. Thus, people here are not as affected by the economy, but what's happening right now, by the price rise. They still have this purchase value. They can spend the money still on holidays, so they're not affected almost at all. But in Benidorm, since there was slightly cheaper tourism, obviously hotels are affected with the increase in prices. Even so, there's a lot of interesting events going on in the area. There has been a summer cinema by Malpaz Beach in the old town of Benidorm. It happens 2 days in a year, in summer, end of July, first days of August, and they usually put subtitles in English too. Apart from that, we've had an interesting event which is made of the juvenile center here from the town hall, and this is a free of charge event that everyone are able to assist, especially the younger generations. So if you're coming with children, grandchildren, someone who enjoys these types of things like gaming, this is just ideal for them. We've had this celebration, these two gaming events on 3rd and 4th of August, and it's going to be happening as well on 24th, 25th of August this year. So this month, basically towards the end. And there's been already more than 1,000 people who've assisted. And you can see here on the pictures what it did look like. The idea is to give the younger generations something to do in summer. But obviously, if you're a fan, were competitions, and tourists are also more than welcome to assist. If you have someone who loves video games, contests in general, a gaming area, whatever game it is, you're more than welcome to join. There are a lot of other concerts, typical religious events as well. There are many things that you could do here in the area, obviously without including theme parks, the beach, the private tours that we offer, the guided walks, the excursions, the nature walks. There's so many things that people even are lacking time to be able to do all of it during their holidays. Let's talk about the second news, which is about the lies and the truths of fines in Benidorm town. We've spoken about it quite a while ago before the summer season started, and a lot of people were actually asking us for how much of it is true. Do you actually get a fine, or is it something that you just get like a warning or something like this? Because social media and mass media and international newspapers, a lot of the time they put it as the beach that has the biggest amount of fines, or the beach that's controlled the most, or like the worst beach in a sense of rules, so many rules that you need to follow in the entire Spain, when actually it's not true at all. So we are here to address this thing, and we'll be talking about myth or if it's actually true. We have here on the screen, and you have it here on the screen as well, some of the information that is it either true or not, and some information that people state online with this supposed to be fines that you will be paying for it, but not everything is true that you see online. For example, the first one right here on the screen: play with a ball or with anything like tennis, whatever it is, playing different types of sports games outside of the established sports areas. And people say that there's a fine of 120 euros. During pandemics, it's true that there were specific areas there for obvious reasons where people were able to play. But right now, after the pandemics, you can play with the ball on the beach inside of the water. You can play different games on the seashore, but always when it's not bothering other people that are by the beach. So let's say if the beach is absolutely full and you start playing volleyball by the seashore or in the water and it hits someone, obviously that's not the best place where to play. So you will need to think about it. It's just like a logical thing. So sanctions like fines mostly are contemplated when and applicable when you're bothering other users. And yes, it might be of 120 euros, but this is only, for example, you're playing volleyball, you're hitting other people and they're saying stop, it's not a place to play, please go somewhere further, and you're not doing it, you continue to bother people, then that is when they could ask the police to come, and if you don't stop they will give you a fine. But it's not an immediate fine as per se if you're playing somewhere at the seashore. Doing your necessities, don't want to call it exactly, but you can translate it. During doing your necessities on the beach, like on the sand or inside of the water, inside of the sea, 150 euros fine. This restriction is actually available. It is valid, but the fine is of 100 euros and not 150. Pre-book. This is the most difficult one, the juiciest one. Pre-book your place when the sun is only going high, starting to go high up uh, by the beach, to use it afterwards. 150 euros fine. There are no sanctions, kind of no fines as it is. Benidorm is planning on putting one. Yes, that is true. It might be shortly confirmed from it in a few days. Maybe it's a possibility. But for now, police officers are mostly coming there just to put common sense into people. That is the main reason why they're coming. But no one is going to be just putting fines as it is, and there's no police officers that would have an option to control the beach nonstop that early in the morning, because sometimes it's 5, 6 in the morning when literally all the people are asleep. Mm, who would go and check it out? I'm not sure. But unless it's something that you're caught doing it and you cause a lot of issues and there's a big conflict, maybe something would happen. But so far, no fines whatsoever. Sadly, there should be. This also needs to be said. The next one is to bring your pets to the beach, 250 euros fine. In this case, it is actually true, but it's not 250, it's of 100 euros. And in case that the animal would do something on the beach, like go to the toilet on the beach, etc., then there would be an additional fine of 150 euros. Bring glass recipients, like glass bottles or glasses, like something with glass in it, towards the beach, 250 euros fine. And here, for the first time, they're wrong, but in the opposite direction. It's way more of a fine than 250 euros. Due to safety and obvious reasons, it's not possible to bring glass to the beach of any kind because people might cut themselves. That is dangerous because we're walking bare feet, children are playing, etc. It's just not a place where to be with the glass. So, what is happening is that it is not allowed. People who are doing so and it breaks, only in this case, there is a fine of 750 euros itself. If you leave it on the beach in general, like glass, and you're being caught, it's 751 euros as well. Drink alcohol on the beach or sell products, fine of 300 euros. The fine for selling the beverages, okay, that is the correct word, is 300 euros. That is true, but there is no fine for drinking alcohol on the beach. Okay, that's probably the most unexpected one you could have heard because a lot of people, I'm quite sure, think that you actually get a fine when you drink alcohol on the beach because it's not allowed because there's a lot of signs everywhere. But technically, you shouldn't get one because at least that's what the town hall, that's what the tourism office confirmed just a day ago. Fishing, 750 euros. That is true, but it's only in non-authorized areas. That's true that you could get a fine of 750 euros. Use the beach for fiesta, for doing some things in a couple, if you know what I mean, or to stay at night from 7 up until 7 in the morning or earlier, like nighttime. 750 euros fine. It is true that there were some regulations during pandemics that no one could stay on the beach between 10 and 7 in the morning. Now it's not the case any longer. There is no fine if you stay on the beach, if you have a lovely night walk by the beach, if you swim in the sea, there is no fines for it. The only fine that you could potentially get is whenever you are on the beach and early in the morning, like let's say 5 in the morning, they start to clean up the beach with big machinery. And if you are there and if because of you they're not able to clean and you don't go away and you disturb them, then you might get an actual fine. But normally that's not typically the case. So you can stay on the beach as much as you want and up until the time that you want, if as long as you're not bothering the cleaning service afterwards. Swimming with the red flag, 1,000 euros fine. And it is actually something that, yes, it is kind of true, but we've not seen anyone paying this fine whatsoever, at least just yet. To be honest with you, each town hall has its own regulations, and something that is valid for Benidorm might not be valid for Albir or for Villajoyosa, Altea, Alicante, Campello, or any other part. Each town hall has its own rules that people need to follow on the beach. The most important thing is not to bother anyone. And if you follow these simple rules that clearly are stated, don't do anything crazy, you shouldn't get a fine for nothing like that. Benidorm's beach has more or less the same rules as any other beach areas have. So as long as you don't do anything insane like this, you should be all right. And you shouldn't worry, and you should always check out the town rules or the beach rules. Ask for people who live here. Follow our channel for more truthful information about the area. If you want, write us a comment if you want to ask something. If you have doubts about anything, we will happily answer it as soon as we are able to. And stay safe and enjoy your holidays. The next news that I wanted to share with you all is more related towards all those who are living here and using some kind of services, or who are coming here for holidays, slightly longer holidays, and need to use any kind of service. There's a lot of information online saying that August, since we are in August already, is a month when everything is closed, is a month when it's impossible to get any appointments in the town hall, in different types of administrations here in Spain, and how much of truth there actually is in this phrase. Everything is closed in August. To be honest with you, it's not entirely true. The only administration that does close in August completely, unless it's an emergency, and then there's a couple of people who are working to make it work as it is the Ministry of Justice. This is the same ministry that is going into courts, like court halls. That is the same ministry that is administrating the nationality and a lot of other things, where the judges are, where the lawyers are. So all this official government institution is on holidays in the month of August. That's it. All the rest of institutions, that is true that a lot of people are getting their holidays in August, but they are still remaining open. For example, in bigger cities, town halls have several offices in different types of areas to make sure that all people have the office nearby to where they're actually living, and it's comfortable to access it for different types of purposes and causes. So in summer, some of these offices that are less popular, they're less visited, do close for some time, but all the rest remain open. The same for banks, for pharmacies, for medical health centers, for hospitals, for any kind of official administrations, traffic, which is like the police that makes all the car fines, car licenses, all of it, official documents, all that is being managed, and all this is open for you. So the only thing that might be closed is the Ministry of Justice. Apart from that, all the businesses, there might be some bars, restaurants, and cafeterias that you would find that are closed, and they will have a sign on them saying we will be back in September, or we'll be back the third, fourth week of August. And this is something normal because they've been working their whole year, and that's the only time for holidays they have. This is happening in the area, so you might see your favorite bar closed during your holidays, but that is because a lot of people are taking it in August. It doesn't mean that it's empty, and it's definitely not. You've seen it in our videos, and whenever you come here, you will see that everything is perfectly fine in August, with an exception of a couple of businesses every now and then, with just a few administrations maybe reducing the amount of hours or reducing the staff that they have. All the rest is working perfectly fine. So don't worry, even if you come here in August. And now let's talk about the weather forecast. What is happening here in Spain and will be happening for the next 7 days. As for now, we've had a really, really strange weather. Just a day or two before that, it was raining and there was like a teeny tiny hailstone. We didn't expect that at all. It should be sunny, nice and warm here, but out of the sudden, out of the blue, just happened. We're hopefully will not see that anytime soon here in the area, and it should be sunny as it is today, nice and quite hot, and it shouldn't be raining in almost none of the parts in Spain, at least for the remaining 7 days. As for the temperatures, there are more than 40 degrees south in Spain, in Andalusia, which is actually normal for them. We, due to our microclimate, have around 31, 32 degrees, 33 maximum in Benidorm, which is just ideal. No heat wave, at least for this week. And the water temperature is of loveliest 28 degrees here in the Bay of Benidorm town. Thank you for accompanying us in today's latest Benidorm news update. We wish you an incredible holiday if you are on one right now. Thank you for subscribing, writing us comments, and clicking likes below our videos. And we'll see you in a new video tomorrow here on the channel, which is where we will officially find the best Asian restaurant in Benidorm town. Don't miss it. Bye, Dees.